Ladies and sex gods, Andy here, the Inner Winner Show. Let's fucking go. I just got off a coaching call with a client and I wanted to jump on and record a podcast immediately talking about this. Because, guys, this is something that comes up all the fucking time. This notion that sex is supposed to be this like smooth, perfect, amazing thing where it's like nobody talks, you don't need to say anything, you just kind of get each other, you just kind of feel each other out, you know exactly what she's into, she knows exactly what you're into, and there's like no talking at any point in time, no feedback, you just get each other. It comes a little bit from porn, a massive amount from fucking Hollywood. Fuck you, Hollywood. Fuck you, Netflix. It's this like weird idea that you're just going to get into the bedroom, you're going to jump in, I'm pointing to my bed, you're just going to jump on the bed and you're just going to like know what to do. And she's just going to know what to do. And it's a smooth, amazing experience. I'm here to tell you, guys, sex isn't usually like that. Now, it is like that once you've been with someone a couple of times and you figure each other out. You know her body, she knows your body. You're still learning shit. But for the most part, like at that point, yeah, you can have sex without really saying anything. 95% of the time when you have sex with a girl for the first time, you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You have no idea what she's into. She doesn't know what you're into. You don't know if the way you normally grab a girl's tits, for instance, is too rough for this chick. Or maybe it's not rough enough. Maybe this girl has really sensitive nipples and she doesn't like you pulling on them. Maybe her nipples aren't that sensitive and you have to squeeze them harder than you ever have with any girl ever in your entire life. The point I'm getting to is every time you walk into a new sexual experience, the first time you have sex, you're figuring shit out with her. I said this to another coaching client that I did recently. Andy, me, am a newbie with every new girl that I meet. I don't know what she's into. She might tell me on the date. She might tell me over text, hey, I like this. Hey, I like that. Hey, I like this. But until we're actually lying there on the bed, I have no idea if what I'm doing is going to turn her on. Now, most things there's a fair bit of crossover between most women. Like most women like having their pussy played with. Most women like when you gently lick their nipples, right? But there will be some women that don't. That's going to be incredibly rare. But like, even the things that you think every woman is going to be into, some won't. Some chicks will love when you pull their hair. Some will hate it. Some will like when you choke them. Some will hate it. Some will like spanking. Some won't. Some will like doggy style. Some will prefer this. You're never going to know that stuff unless you get some fucking feedback. And until you actually get into the bedroom, how can you get feedback? You're not going to, on a date, have like a 20 dot point list of like, do you like this? Do you like that? Do you like this? I mean, if you do, like, more power to you, but most people don't, right? Most people don't do that. And so people equate feedback from a girl with, I must be doing something wrong. And that's why I sat down to record this podcast, because one of my coaching clients said, I'm terrified that I'm going to do something wrong in the bedroom. I'm worried that she's going to say like, oh, that was too hard or that was too this. And I was like, dude, that's just getting feedback. She's supposed to say, oh, can you kiss me a little more gently? Or, oh, I really like it when you do this. That's just called getting fucking feedback. And he had equated, and a lot of you guys equate any form of feedback as failure. Hey, she said something, that means I'm doing it wrong. Oh my God, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. You throw your hands up in the air. Fuck, see, I knew I was bad at sex. Like, no, she's just telling you that she has a preference. She's trying to help you do a better job. Isn't that a fucking good thing? I mean, God bless her. Like, she's literally trying to get you to turn her on more. She's trying to get you to help her have a good fucking time. She's trying to get you to fuck her brains out. Like, feedback is a good thing. It's a really good thing. And just like getting the feedback is a bloody good thing. Any girl that gives you feedback, like fucking pat her on the head and say like, good bloody girl for giving feedback. Giving feedback as well. If a chick is giving you a blowjob and maybe you're not that into it, instead of sitting there and going like, oh, this is nothing like porn. How come this can't be like Hollywood or porn? You know, not that they suck dicks in Hollywood apart from, you know what? I won't make the very easy pedophile joke, right? I think I'll avoid that. I think we'll stay a little classy today. I won't make the very obvious Hollywood pedophile joke that everybody is thinking right now. And we'll move past that. What the fuck point was I making? I lost my train of thought. I'm sitting here thinking about pedophiles and that always just gets me off track. You know what I mean? Don't clip that. Someone's going to clip that. Point that I'm making is if you're sitting in the middle of a blowjob and you're thinking, I'm not enjoying this. She's not doing it how I like. Fucking tell her. Use your fucking words and say, I'm not really into that. Can you try this instead? Or try this instead? Or hey, let's switch to this. Or hey, do this. Instead of sitting there going like, well, in porn, it must feel so, how come it looks so amazing in porn? It's so smooth and she just knows how to give a good blowjob and he just looks so into it. It's like, that's Hollywood. That's porn. That's scripted. I'm going to make this point in a separate podcast that I'm going to do all about porn. The problem with porn, most porn that you see, is it's scripted. Now, you as the viewer, don't think about that because you're in a highly sexual state of mind. You're trying to jerk your little gherkin. I know you guys jerk your gherkin over porn. You don't just watch it for educational purposes. You jerk your little fucking gherkin, don't you? You're jerking your little gherkin, rubbing your sausage, playing with your little salami, stroking your fucking dolphin, and you're not thinking rationally. So you don't think like, oh, I'm watching something fake. Your brain is in that primitive, dumb state where you're just getting off. And so you're thinking like, oh, this porn is so good. These girls are so hot. She's so into it. Look how into it she is. No, she's fucking acting. And yeah, she may be enjoying it a little bit, but she's fucking acting. Oh, wow, he's so smooth. He knows what he's doing. Look at his dick so hard. He's a fucking man. He's the real man. Like, no, again, he's acting. Both of them are following a script. And so when you watch porn and there's no feedback, there usually isn't feedback. There's not like, hey, could you go a little slower? Hey, could you try this instead? Hey, do you reckon maybe we can try a different position? Hey, my pussy's kind of hurting. Can we like maybe switch a bit? Can we use some lube or something? Like even the guys giving feedback, like guys, you should be giving feedback. I'm going to drill that into you in a second. But because there's none of that feedback, the only feedback there is in porn is like moaning. Oh, I'm coming. Oh, that feels fucking great. Oh, amazing. Like, but there's no, could you try this instead? Hey, do this instead. Hey, that kind of hurts. Ow. There's not even any fucking like, even if the girl doesn't use her words because she's shy or something, in real life, when you have sex with a girl, sometimes she'll go like, oh, like you can see she's a little uncomfortable and you're like, oh, is that hurting? And she'll be like, sorry, maybe a little bit. And then you switch positions or something, right? You know what I mean? You're not getting any of that feedback in porn. In fact, it would ruin the immersion and you wouldn't watch it. But you don't think about this when you're watching porn. You just think, wow, she's so hot. She's enjoying this. He's fucking into it. These two have amazing sexual chemistry. No, they fucking don't. They're following a script and they're not allowed to deviate from that script. And even if she is uncomfortable, she can't say anything. That would ruin the immersion. They have to cut. Great. Good job, bitch. You ruined the fucking scene. You know what I mean? So porn is this weird, like, dystopian isn't the right word, but like surreal is a better word. Surreal visual arts. It's a fucking like art form. You're watching theater. You're watching two people perform. And like, fine. Like, I'm not even having a criticism of porn here, but I want you to know what porn is. It is not sex. Porn is not sex. I don't know how many times I have to fucking say this. I get that you guys who haven't had a lot of sex, maybe you're just figuring this shit out now, but like, you look at porn, women too, you look at porn and you think like, wow, like, you know, that's great. That's like the utopia that I want to get to. I want to get to this amazing point where we just fuck each other's brains out and it's all smooth and all that sort of shit. Yes, you can get there, but it's usually going to be the third or the fourth time you fuck someone. Sometimes, every now and then, you will meet someone that you just have so much chemistry that the two of you don't need words. That does happen. Sure, for sure. And those are amazing sexual experiences. But don't sit there and say, well, 80% of my other first-time sexual experiences aren't smooth like that. Oh, I must be doing something wrong. She must suck. Maybe we don't have chemistry. It's like, I'm sorry, but you're likely not going to have chemistry the first time you meet someone. You're going to have chemistry, but like, it's not going to be smooth. It's not just going to be like this perfect, beautiful thing. And my mentor, or the guy that I learned, the guy who helped me the most, whose website I used, fucking love the guy. I guess we can call him my mentor. Chris from Good Looking Loser. You know, fucking love the guy to bits. He helped me get laid. His shit is amazing. Go check him out if you haven't already. And he had this article called Don't Be Smooth. And the whole thing he wrote is like, you're not going to be smooth when you talk to a woman. I'm here taking it a little deeper and talking about sex itself. He was talking more about when you approach a chick, when you hit on a girl in a cafe, you know, even when you talk to a girl on Tinder or something, it's probably not going to be super smooth. Why are you trying to be smooth? This isn't Hollywood. You don't know each other. And he also made the point that it takes two people to be smooth. If she's nervous, how the fuck is it going to be smooth? She's nervous. You can't have a smooth experience with someone who is fucking nervous. You both have to be not nervous. And it's very likely that one or both of you are going to be nervous the first time you fuck. Why would you not be nervous? Andy, am now not nervous. I haven't been nervous for a couple of years when it's a first sexual experience. So I'm smooth. But guess what? Most of the people that I have sex with are not smooth because they're nervous. So no matter how smooth I am, the sexual experience itself is only going to have a certain ceiling of smoothness, right? I can only bring 50% of the smoothness. Maybe I can bring 70% of the smoothness. If she's nervous, if she's awkward, if she's inexperienced, if she's shy, if she takes a little while to warm up to someone, if she's only had a limited number of sexual partners or something and I'm a new partner, or maybe she's only been in 2 relationships or something and I'm the 3rd person she's having sex with. Why the fuck would she be comfortable? Why the fuck would she be super smooth and like, hey baby, I know exactly what I want and I know what you want and everything is perfect? It's not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. And even if it did, even when I have the sexual experiences where it is smooth, right, which is probably, I don't want to put a number on it, let's say like 1 in 5 sexual experiences are just like, fuck, it's probably less than that. It depends on the girls you're seeing. It depends on their experience level. I don't know. Let's pull a number out of my ass and say 1 in 10, 1 in 20. I don't know. I'm making numbers up here. The number isn't important. But even in those sexual experiences, the first time sexual experiences, and again, I'll make it clear, backtrack a little bit. I'll make it clear the second or the third, and definitely by the 3rd and 4th time you have sex with someone. Yes, you're smooth. Yes. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the first time you fuck someone new. Maybe the second time as well. It's probably not going to be smooth. And even in the moments where it is smooth with someone the first time, you still don't know what she likes. Maybe you, like I said, you start fingering her and you're a little too rough and you can see she's uncomfortable. And so you go like, oh, is that hurting? And she's like, it's just a little bit too rough. And so you slow down a bit and get back into it, turn her on, like go fucking crazy. Guys look at like any sort of feedback like that as like, oh my God, I've failed. Throw my hands up in the air. You know, everything's ruined. She thinks I'm a fucking loser. She probably thinks I don't get laid. She probably thinks I'm a fucking loser, virgin, incel. She probably thinks I hang around on fucking Reddit. Shout outs to Reddit. Nothing good to say about Reddit, but Reddit is a website that exists. Hey, to be fair, a lot of my audience come from Reddit, and I fucking love you guys, so I shouldn't nag on Reddit. The red pill came from Reddit, and that Reddit helped me a lot. So I take back every horrible thing I just said about you, Reddit. I love you so much. Where was I going with this? I've lost track. You don't have to feel like everything's falling apart just because you get that little bit of feedback. Right? Just take the feedback on board. Oh, she thinks it's too rough. I'll go a little slower. Get back into it. Do it slow. It doesn't have to be this jarring, like you're the one that's making it this jarring thing where it's like, oh shit, she gave me some feedback. She said it was too rough. I failed. Or, you know, I'm not that sure that she's into it and she's kind of, oh my God, like get out of your own head. Be present with what you do and have fun with her. If she says that's too rough, then go a bit slower and fucking drive her crazy by going slower. If she says, can you go a little faster? Then go like, all right, I'm going to go fucking faster on you, woman. And then go faster and turn her on like crazy. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be this like pause, this stop of like, oh my God, you know, she gave me some feedback. Like, oh, what am I doing? Feedback is a good thing. Feedback is her helping you fucking blow her mind even more. The more she gets turned on, guess what? The more you're going to be turned on. It's fucking hot seeing a woman moaning like crazy. If she gives you some feedback and says like, hey, go a little slower, fucking take it on board and do it, because guess what? That'll turn her on like crazy. You'll see her horny as hell. You'll get really fucking horny. Now the both of you are fucking horny together and put your bits together and all that sort of shit. The other thing I'll say is, guys, feedback. Get some fucking feedback. If you're doing something to a girl and you're not sure if she's enjoying it, this was another thing that just came up on the coaching call I just did. If you're not sure if she's enjoying something, ask her. Amazing revelation there, I know. I've just given you the cheat code to life. If you're ever not sure about someone and the contents of their mind, that's why we invented language, so that we could say, what's on your mind? Do you like that? Does that feel good? Is that turning you on? You're fucking turning me on too. Am I turning you on? Get some fucking feedback. Just ask. You don't have to. If you're doing, if it seems to be going fine, bad, fucking low bar for entry. If you're having sex and it's fucking amazing, fine. You don't have to say like, is that good? Am I doing a good job? But you can like integrate that into foreplay. I certainly do. I certainly have that in sex as well. I'm like, how does that fucking feel? Does that turn you on? Like you can make it, please don't think of it as this like jarring thing that pulls you out of the bedroom. Make it part of sex. Like, how does that feel? Is that good? Do you want it harder? Do you like make it a fucking foreplay thing? Make it a sexual thing. But especially if you're not sure if she's enjoying something and you're sitting there in your own head going like, I don't even know if I know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know how to lick pussy. I'm probably doing a bad job. I bet her last boyfriend licked her better than this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Fucking get out of your head and say to her, Do you want it harder? Do you want it soft? How does that feel? Is that good? Am I turning you on? You're driving me fucking crazy. Am I driving you crazy? Like, get some fucking feedback. You don't have to write, you don't have to ask her for an essay, a big long like checklist of like, yeah, you're doing a good job. Do a little to the left, but just get a little bit of fucking feedback. If you're sitting there going like, I don't even know if she enjoys this, just say like, does that feel good? Right? And if she goes like, that's your feedback. Some girls won't say like, no, that feels bad, but you can kind of tell, right? They'll go like, and then that's a no. That's like, try something different. So you say like, well, what do you like? Show me how you like it. Tell me what you like. What are you into? What turns you on? You can say this shit in the bedroom. That's the point that I'm making here. You're licking her pussy. She's kind of half into it. Ask her like, does that feel good? And she can be like, and then go like, okay, what do you like? Do you want it harder? Do you want it soft? Like, tell me what you fucking like. Your job is a bad phrasing of it, but like your mission during sex is to turn her on and get her as fucking crazy as possible. And her mission is to get you as fucking crazy as possible. That's the whole point of good sex, right? Like, you're trying to get each other turned on. Like, that's the point. You're trying to make each other feel good. You're trying to drive each other crazy. You can try and do all that shit together. You won't know what she's into unless you get little bits of feedback, especially if it seems like, you know, she's sitting there kind of enjoying it, kind of not, and you're in your own head. So I want to make that really clear. Get out of your head. If you're not sure what someone is thinking, ask them. As I said to this guy, the guy that I just did the coaching call with, what you're doing in the bedroom is having sex. It isn't a mind reading test. You're not there to have your skills as a mind reader evaluated. She's not there going like, oh, you did a really good job reading my mind. You know exactly what I wanted. I didn't have to say anything. You could just tune into my frequency and you just knew exactly what I wanted. That's not what's going on here. You're trying to have sex. You're trying to fuck each other. Sometimes you're trying to procreate. Sometimes you're just trying to release steam. But the point is you're trying to explore sex together. You're trying to fucking make each other feel good and explore pleasure. It's not a test as to how well you read her mind. And another thing a lot of guys do is the second they can't read her mind, they count that as a failure. Or they will try and read her mind and then maybe she'll give some feedback and say like, that kind of hurts. And then they'll go, oh my God, I didn't read her mind once. I failed to read her mind one time. I misread her mind once. I didn't hit that 100% success rate of mind reading. I'm a fucking failure. What the fuck is that? Like, you should be hitting a 50% mind reading success rate. Like going off body language and stuff like that. But again, if you're ever not sure, just fucking say, how does that feel? Is that good? Am I doing a bad job? Do you want me to do something better? Do you want me to try something else? Do you want to like fucking ask? It's not this test of like, can I read her goddamn mind? So I get really fucking passionate about this because the reason I get passionate about this is you guys in general, I used to be the same. During sex, you get so caught up in your own head. In the pressures that come with sex, the pressures of masculinity, of like, can I do a good job? Can I perform for her? Can my dick be hard enough? Can I make her orgasm? You know, pressure. I don't want you guys stuck in your own head, because when you're in your own head, you're not enjoying it. You're not present. You're not having a good time. Isn't the whole point of sex that you're there to enjoy yourself? Isn't the whole reason you're putting your penis in her vagina to enjoy yourself? You're not trying to just fucking have sex for the sake of sex. It's supposed to be fun. And so I don't want you stuck in your own head going like, oh, I can't mind read her, but I can't ask for feedback because that would be weird. That would mean admitting that I failed. That was one thing that this coaching client of mine said. He said, I'm worried about saying something because then she'll know I'm not good at sex. And it's like, then fucking admit that you're not good at sex and that you want to get better. And he was like, but then won't she think that like, you know, blah, 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 or if I'm not good at sex, won't she think less of me? And I was like, she'll only think that if you fucking think that. It's only weird if you make it weird. It's only awkward if you make it awkward. Instead, and here's a tip for you guys, frame it as a good thing. He was worried that if I admit to girls that, you know, I'm kind of figuring shit out and I'm still learning, like, won't they be turned off by me? And I was like, dude, frame it in the positive. Say, I want to get really good at sex. Like, I want to get really fucking good at foreplay. I want to learn foreplay with you. I want to practice. Like, do you want to practice foreplay with me? I want to just get to a point where like I'm really good at it. Like I just explore everything. I want to try a bunch of different stuff with you. I want to see what you're into, what I'm into. I want to play around a little bit, learn each other's bodies. I want to help you learn your body. Say that to anyone. Go outside right now. Okay, maybe don't say it to women on the street, but get their phone numbers first. And then on the date, Say that to 1,000 women. Hey, everything I just said. Hey, I want to learn to get really good at foreplay. I want to help you explore your body. I want to explore women's bodies. I want to learn pleasure. I want to learn how to make you feel pleasure. I want to edge you, get you right to the edge of orgasm, then like back off. Like I want to keep you there. I want to do all that kind of stuff. I want to play with some toys with you. Go say that to 1,000 women and see what feedback you get. Again, women that you're already on a date with. Maybe don't go up and say that to grandmothers on the street, but say that to 1,000 women you're already on a date with or have already had sex with once and see what they say. I guarantee you 99.9999% of them will say like, are you serious? Is this a trap? You actually want to learn to get good at foreplay? You actually want to make me feel good? Because normally guys don't really care about this. Is this a trap? Is there a camera around here? You're recording me, aren't you? This is a YouTube prank, isn't it? And you'll be like, no, I'm serious. I want to learn how to blow your mind in the bedroom. I want to learn how to get really good at foreplay. I'm not like super like confident with it and shit, but I want to practice. Like, do you want to practice with me? Every girl's going to be like, yes, please. Like, where do I sign? How much money do you want me to pay you for this? I would love to pay you to, not that they're going to pay you, but you get the point that I'm making here. Like, women would fucking love you if you just said, I want to get really good at foreplay. I want to learn foreplay. I want to learn, even just a woman, you say like, I want to learn how your body works. I want you to tell me how your body works. Tell me what you're really into. If something doesn't feel amazing, like tell me. I really want to learn like the cheat codes to your body, like the stuff that I can do that just drives you fucking insane. Like show me how to play with your nipples. Show me what you really like. Like let's figure out the cheat codes to your body. Say that to every woman and they will fucking love you guys. I promise you. Go out there right now. Any girls that you're seeing or any girls that you're just on a date with or something, when you're in the bedroom or just before if you want to, say everything I just said. Say, I really want to learn your body. I want to learn the cheat codes that drive you fucking crazy. I want you gripping the bed sheets. I want you to just lose your mind. I want you to forget the entire rest of the world exists and it's just me and you and our bodies and our hands and just see what happens. And my dick as well, your pussy. I want us to see what happens and just have fucking fun with that shit. Girls will fucking love you. I promise. It's not, I know there's a lot of pressure to perform, but rather than looking at it like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm a failure, I'm bad, switch it up, reframe it, frame it in the positive and say, I'm not bad. It's not that you're bad. Say, I want to learn to get really fucking good. I'm at the start right now. I'm figuring this shit out. Yeah, I'm going to get good at this. And yes, this shit works. Of course, like any woman listening to this right now is like, yeah, are you serious? If a guy came to me and said like, I want to learn to get amazing with foreplay with you, I would love him to bits. You want some fucking proof? One of my coaching clients, go and leave. Listen to my bad fucking sentence. I will leave a link in the description to an interview I did with one of my coaching clients, a guy called Ed. And one of the things that we had to, that I coached him on, and we talk about it in this podcast. That's why I'm saying go and listen to the podcast. He was really inexperienced. He's a virgin. He was 31. You know, he'd fooled around a little bit with women, but he hadn't had sex. He was super nervous and super inexperienced. And so I said to him, rather than, saying to girls, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm bad at foreplay. I have no idea what I'm doing. Frame it in the positive. Like get ahead of it, jump ahead of it and say like, look, I want to learn to get amazing at foreplay. I want to learn how to blow your mind. I want to try a bunch of different stuff with you. If you're down to explore with me, I really want to like fucking rock your world. He doesn't talk like that. He's a little more like, less aggressive, less blunt than I am. But that was essentially what he said. I want to learn to get really good at foreplay. I want to learn to explore your body and you learn to explore your own body and explore my body. Like, are you down to do that together? Girls fucking loved him when he said that too. Like, this is a guy who's a virgin who doesn't even know what to do. He way more inexperienced than a lot of you guys listening. And girls loved him for that shit. They were, and he also told them he was a virgin. He said, like, I haven't, here's the only experience I've had. It's like fooling around a bit. I haven't had sex. Are you cool with that? Like, do you want to explore with me? And all of them were like, yeah, are you serious? Of course I want to learn to explore. You're the only person so far that's ever come up to me in my entire life and said, I want to learn how to get good at sex. I want to explore your body. I want to learn how to explore your body and what makes you tick and what turns you on and what drives you crazy. Normally guys don't really give a fuck about that. It's just straight to sex. Bang that dick in there. Bang, 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 bang. Shove it in. Hey, I came. Fucking awesome. Good night. I'll call you an Uber. Bye. Like, guys, you have no idea how much just getting ahead of it or reframing it as a positive, girls are going to fucking love you. So let's summarize. Sex doesn't have to be this smooth, perfect thing. Feedback is normal. If a girl gives you feedback, fucking take it on board and blow her mind a little bit and do what she says and go, yep, fucking you want it slower? I'm going to give you slower. You're going to love this shit. Give feedback to chicks as well. If you're not enjoying something, just say like, hey, try this instead. Don't sit there and think like, oh, but in porn, it's so smooth. Remember that porn is scripted. It's fake. The two people are not allowed to break the immersion and say, I'm not enjoying that. So porn is not the way sex normally looks, right? Yes, there will be some times when when sex is perfectly smooth, especially after you've seen someone a couple of times, fine. But even then, you get feedback, right? She'll be like, can we try this instead? Hey, that kind of hurts. Hey, this, that, and the other. Feedback is a normal fucking part of sex. It doesn't have to be this unsmooth thing. Speaking of smooth, sex isn't always smooth. Talking to a girl in person isn't always smooth. Hitting on someone isn't always smooth. When it is, magical. Chef's kiss, brilliant. Love that shit. Chalk that up to a beautiful, rare experience. It does happen sometimes, maybe like 1 in 10 times, I don't know what it is. But 9 times out of 10, one of you is nervous. It takes two people to be smooth. If one of you is nervous, there you go. Sex can't be smooth. It can't be. If she's nervous, if you're nervous, it can't be smooth. It will never be smooth until you've done it a couple of times. But with that one person in that one moment, there's no way it's going to be smooth. And she might relax, halfway into it, fine. But when she's nervous, she's not going to be super smooth. And you're not going to be super smooth. Don't feel like you have to mind read girls. That's not the mission. The mission is to have sex, to have fun, to make her feel good, to make yourself feel good, to fucking come together and have a good experience. It's not a mind reading test where she scores you at the end or you score yourself and say, oh, I failed to mind read her one time. I didn't know exactly how to pleasure her. Oh my God, I'm a fucking failure. No, fucking ask how to pleasure her or try some shit. And she's like, oh, maybe a little, harder. Okay, cool. Like I'll fucking go a little harder. Say to her, what are you into? What turns you on? Show me the cheat codes. Use that exact phrasing. Say, I want you to tell me the cheat codes to your body. Like, what turns you on like crazy? Like, if I want to just drive you insane, like, tell me one thing. Some girls will say like, oh, lick my ear, kiss my neck, suck on my nipples gently, suck on my nipples really hard, rub my clit as hard as you can, rub my clit as gently as you can, and tell me that I'm not allowed to come. Like, every girl will have their own set of cheat codes. That's why I said I am a newbie with every new girl that I sleep with. I have no idea what her cheat codes are. I have no idea what turns her on. I can't possibly know that until I ask her, what turns you on? What do you like? What are you into? I normally phrase it like, what are you into? Or what drives you crazy? But if you want to say like, what are your cheat codes? Phrase it like that. However you phrase it, you kind of need that feedback. Otherwise, you're just going to be sitting there in the dark, like trying 500 different things until finally you get it. And sure, if you want to do that, fine. Like it's your life, do that. But get some feedback. Just makes it a million times easier. Guys, I'll wrap up there. If you want to, I mentioned coaching a couple of times. If you want to hit me up for coaching, I'll leave a link in the description below to that. One thing I've started doing now, which I like a lot better, is rather than just saying like, hit me up for coaching, let's do coaching, put the payment through and shit. I've started doing like 10-minute calls with people. They're usually like roughly 10 minutes, maybe like 15 minutes. And I will jump on a call with someone and it's kind of like an easier way. It's like dipping your toe in the water. Like that person gets to see like, oh, can he actually fucking help me? Like, is he going to actually be able to give me any good advice or is he just going to fucking take my money? I like it because I get to quickly figure out like, is this person actually serious? One of the problems with like, I'm going to pause right there because my intercom just buzzed and I will be back in half a second. I got food coming. All right, guys, sorry about that interruption. I'm back. I'll just quickly say like, it's a hell of a lot more fun if I get to jump on a call with someone first and kind of figure out like, are they going to be a good fit for me? Like, do I think I can help them? Do I think they're actually serious? So all of this is a long-winded way of saying, if you want coaching, I'm doing it slightly different now. It's an easier way to dip your toe in the water and see if I can actually help you. So I will leave a link in the description below to where you can book that 10-minute call with me if you want to jump on a call and say like, can you actually help me? Like, what are your options? Can I fucking afford your coaching? How can you help me afford your coaching? Like blah, 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 blah. What changes will I get at the end of it? Can you actually guarantee you'll fucking help me or are you just going to waste my money? Blah, blah, blah. Link in the description below, guys. And as always, go crush your goals.